You're listening to Rock Out With, hosted by me, Danny Faye. So Echo 7 joined me back on Rock Out With, and just a fair warning, this was filmed using my iPad over 4G, so if the sound quality is a bit rough, I do apologise. But here is Echo 7 talking about their new EP, X-Ray in Use.
Got it. Okay. Cool. All right.
You're hearing it. Okay. Right. Welcome back onto the show. Thank you for coming back again.
Yes, again.
You're happy to be.
Thanks for having us back again.
Yeah, that's fine. It is becoming a twice yearly thing. It's nice.
Yeah, well, the last time we spoke, the EP. I think we spoke this time last when we had the holiday song when Born from Ice came out.
The last time we spoke was in March.
In March. So what was happening in March? I think people released
stuff. Yeah, stuff.
Yeah, stuff.
My birthday was in March. That's all I know.
Yeah, the EP wasn't ready. Yeah, and so since then a lot's happened. So yeah.
Yes, obviously we got you back on today, finally, after all the nightmares that is taken to get here, to talk about your new EP.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, which is X-Ray in Use, which, by the way, thank you so much for sending me.
Oh, not a problem. Not a problem at all. We said we would, so we had to keep our word.
I had to dust off my CD player to be able to put it on, but
worth it.
It's definitely worth it. How has it been perceived since it was released?
Really well. Everyone who has heard the EP has had zero negative things to say about it, and I think a lot of people were surprised at it. I don't think people expected the EP and the way that it comes across. Everyone just, compliments, how punchy it sounds and the guitar riffs and the singing and the all of it. It's weird to kind of explain because it's not like people are like, oh yeah, it's good. People aren't saying one word or one sentence phrases. They're going on in paragraphs, which is really interesting and nice to hear. We sent out the physical CD to a select group of people like yourself who supported us from the beginning and different radio outlets and stuff. And the response has just been really, really positive and really good. And the CD I feel comes across a lot better than the streaming, which is why we sent out CDs to different media outlets, because we wanted you guys to feel the CD and really get the best performance of it and the best presentation. But yeah, everyone seems to like it and enjoy it, and we haven't had any negative feedback that I'm aware of, unless the band's keeping stuff from me. But other than that, I think it's pretty well.
No, we delete those comments online, man.
Yes.
You did this one via the record label that you signed up to, didn't you?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
It is still 100% self-produced and self-mixed, self-mastered and stuff. But I mean, the label's
all self-written.
Yeah, the label's been very supportive and basically given us the creative freedom, basically to create whatever we want, which is good and positive.
So they basically threw the dough at it.
As long as it sounds professional and the packaging is right and we do our part, they pretty much let us go and write what we want, like Marcus says, write what we want, compose what we want, put the visuals out that we want. For them it's more of a you kind of get out what you put in kind of thing. And they see that we're putting in work and we're going for it, and they're meeting us halfway, and so they've been very supportive in promoting our EP and sending it out to radio and reposting stuff that we post on Instagram and on social media. So it's been good. It's been a good arrangement, and yeah, we hope to keep this going for the next few years.
One would hope. Talking about the packaging of it, where did the title come from?
Oh wow, that's that's my. It's my.
But it's a lot of influence on how the lyrics are written too, and how the lyrics come across. Yeah,
exactly. Like the whole arrangement of the CD is, and the songs and the whole theme of the record is looking internally, and fighting internal battles and finding victory in them, and so X-ray in use basically is just a description of that, of just that's what an X-ray is. And when you go for an X-ray, especially at the dentist or whatever, when they put that vest on you, everyone leaves the room and you're left in the room with that vest, and then everyone hiding behind the wall, and they press the button. Basically that's kind of what it represents. Like when you're fighting internal battles, it's you left in the room, right? You're the one left alone. You may have people who want to help and people who, want to be there for you, but in the end, you're the one left sitting there and you're the one left to deal with it. And so that's kind of, what the meaning of the title is, and just describes the kind of just the theme of the record.
Yeah, obviously I only ask because it's weird to see a title of an EP not as one of the named tracks.
That's true.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Okay, good point. Yeah, about that.
I don't know if we did something good or something bad there, but we did something.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing because it takes you off guard, you see.
Yeah, I guess we approached this more like an album, I guess, and I guess I was thinking of it more like an album, and I didn't want to do a self-titled because I feel everyone does self-titled products, when they put them out. Like everyone's first project is usually self-titled, and I just felt that this project deserved a title, and not just the band name. I felt we were more creative than that. So yeah, that's what we went for.
And what about the artwork? Whose ribs are we looking at?
Those are
stock photo ribs.
Yeah, those are stock image ribs in there. Yeah, it was an image that I found and paid for, and it seemed to work. And the original color actually isn't blue. The original color of the original is more of like a greenish hue. So we just adjusted the coloring and added the E7 logo where the heart is. We did little things to it to make it our own, but yeah, that's a stock Strangers rib cage. But it's an every person rib cage. It's not the script. It's every person.
But yes. I do feel like the rib cage is a theme that could and should follow us a little further. We could kind of expand on that as logos and as fun stuff.
Which I think we're going to do. I think the remix to this is Steph has a really nice piece of art. That's a rib cage. That's very, very cool. And we're going to use that for the remix record. So there will be continuity forward with this. So
none of you are about to run out and get an X-ray.
Got to break something first.
Yeah, over, sure.
Do any of you have a favourite track off of it? Like one that you're really proud of?
We're all going to say the same song.
Yeah. Go ahead. I've answered the last time. Yeah.
It's Blame.
Yeah, Blame. I would say.
Yeah. We all feel like Blame is kind of a culmination of all our styles, efforts, and all of our work kind of put together and created into one song. It's kind of the direction we want to head into the future as well. So it's kind of a good representation of where we're at musically and where we're in the future. So Blame is always a heavy favorite, and it's very fun to play live, and we really enjoy playing it live.
Yeah.
I was going to say, is there like a crowd favorite when you play them live?
I don't know if Blame is the crowd. What would you say is the crowd favorite, guys? I don't know if
we get a lot of love for Born from Ice, oddly enough.
Yeah, that one, and I know our last show that we just did. I mean, I know I received a lot of feedback on Blame once once we were done playing and stuff like that. But I would agree with Steph. I mean, the Born from Ice as well. I think we get a pretty good response from, and that when we play that too, that's actually a lot of fun to play as well. They all are. Well, the majority of them are, but
Always that one song.
Yeah, let's not go there with that one song. Yeah. That song. No, Born from Ice, I think, just catches everyone off guard. I don't think anyone expects to come out with a song like Born from Ice. And I enjoy playing it because I feel like I'm living out like an 80s kind of daydream of like playing this big rock power ballad, and I can just kind of and the beat is very very basic and simple, so I can kind of really just kind of lose in it and go off and let Marcus carry what he carries. So it's nice, but I think the biggest thing about that song is I've noticed people, like, if they weren't paying attention in the first half of the set, when that's on, now all of a sudden, like, everyone gets interested. Like, we did our Halloween show, and there were some like older dudes like in the crowd, like they were by the bar, and like they were like whatever for like the first couple songs, and then Born from Ice comes on, and all of a sudden they like got interested, and all of a sudden, oh, these guys
we like the rest too.
Yeah, that's complete. So it kind of, I think that song is one of those songs that just transcends, I guess, musical taste and generations in a way, where it has something for everybody and something that everyone kind of finds familiar and likes, and but yeah, it's a fun song to play, and I would say those two are crowd favorites for sure. Even though people were feeling everything at the last show too. But usually everything. Last show we did, people were like, "Oh, that's a great song." I was like, "Okay, well, thank you."
Cool. Glad you think so.
I must admit, it is one of my favorites. So.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate
that. Right, here we go. Yes, obviously, I asked about the artwork. The other thing was, obviously, being a bass player, I'm going to ask, how comes some of the bass riffs are by a different bassist?
Oh my goodness! Now she wants the dirt. Okay. So as Steph and even Marcus, but I think Steph can tell you, or will tell you, bass playing has been something, and bass players have been like something we have had a hard time finding and retaining. So every time we think we have a bass player, then we don't have a bass player. And so Keep from Breaking and Blame. Yeah, and Blame were from a bass player that we had earlier on in the year, Bobby Hope, and then Bobby left for personal reasons, and then we got Luke Smith, who is our bass player currently. So when Luke came along, Keep from Breaking was already released as a single. So when he came along, we were like, "Okay, Luke, we still have like 2 or 3 tracks left. You're free to jump on them and do your thing." So he did Push Pull, Only I. And he came on to those, and he's still a little upset about not doing Keep from Breaking and the other ones. We're like, "Sorry, Luke, but
you'll be on the next one."
Next time. Yeah, but that's the reason why that we had a bass player leave before the EP was complete. And so when Luke came along, he jumped right in and jumped on the moving train and added bass to the other songs, and so that's why we have 2 bass players listed on the credits, because we didn't go back and redo those other songs just because we had a release schedule and there just wasn't time. So that's the reason why.
Just didn't know, because it normally happens when you're in the recording studio and before you know it, you go back, you listen to your bass line, and it's completely different because they've re-recorded it.
Yeah,
I have,
and I mean,
That's not me.
you know, Bobby did a great job on the tracks that we recorded prior
Okay.
to Luke joining and stuff as well. And I mean, he was a guitar player, and you know,
He learned the bass for it.
yeah, he was, you know, basically learning bass, you know, trying to get out of a guitar player mindset and go into bass. And then, like Alon said, he had to step away for personal reasons. But then, you know, we've been lucky enough with Luke. Um, you know, he's a fabulous player. And I can't wait for you guys to hear, you know, our newer tracks that we've been, you know, the stuff that we're currently writing, because it brings it up, brings the overall songs and the playing and what he brings, you know, brings us up a level as well. So, you know, he has a lot to offer. Young guy as well. You know, studying music, you know, studying theory. Yeah, funny. And but he's a great player, and can't wait for you guys to hear him.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, no, I've had that. We didn't pull that game. I've had that happen to me personally, where I recorded an album for a local band here, and I did all this. I tracked the entire album, and then the album came out, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not me. I know that's how I play. That's not. And sure enough, I go back to the lead singer guy. I'm like, what happened? And he's like, oh yeah, well, you know, we had another guy come in and just, you know, redo, because like we promised him this and I was like, well, you could have like told me. I would have come back and retracted. You weren't happy, right? Like, don't not tell me you're going to retract my drums and then pass it off as my drums. So I know. So no, do that, Bobby. That's not what happened. You know, this was literally a thing where he had to step away and we had someone new come and did that. But yeah, when that happens, it's very shady. I'd never appreciate when producers or bands choose to do that. It's just, you know, it's not right. If you don't like what I played, tell me to retrack it. Don't replace, you know, and then lie to me about it, you know. And so yeah, so that's all.
Well, let's hope Luke sticks around then.
Yes,
I hope so. He seems to enjoy it. Like whenever he's on stage with us, he absolutely goes wild. Like I'll ask him, like, do you remember this during the gig? And he's like, no. He's just in his element the whole show. It's fun. It's a good energy too, because it's good as a singer to have someone very energetic on stage, because it makes you want to emulate that, and it gives you energy as well. So having, I think, the younger presence kind of generates more energy for us.
I know I need the help.
Sound like he's a child.
He's our baby. He's the youngest.
Yeah. There's like 30 years difference between him and I, right? So, you know, it brings a new outlook, and it brings you know, as Steph said, that extra energy boost that we need when we're playing live.
Just bottle up his energy and just drink it before you go on stage.
Yeah.
Could sell that.
So you mentioned briefly that obviously you're writing new stuff. Is that towards new singles or a new EP or album? Where are we headed?
I think we're headed for an album. I think everyone is on the same page that we're trying to do a 10 to 12 track album. I'd love to see 10. It'll probably end up being more like 11 or 12, actually, if we throw Counterfeit, and if we redo Gunnin', I guess. So we may hit 12. But I think everyone's mindset is that we're happen. But I think we're all in the mindset of doing an album and doing an official, you know, project. So that's where we're headed. It's going to be a full length album with the videos to go with it. So that's the plan. That's the plan. A little ambitious, because we're trying to, you know, write these songs within, you know, 6 to 8 months. But I mean, we're so far so good. I think we've got like four new ones that we're demoing right now and piecing together and you know, trying them out. So we're moving along. So we're on track, but it will be an album for sure.
So obviously, how comes, if you say you got 4 new ones in the works, how comes you didn't wait this time round to do an album? Did you just want to push your music out there to keep people interested?
I think so. I mean, and you know what? That's funny. I think everyone's asked me that, including the band, like, why do we do this? why do we do this a lot? Yeah. So when we first signed with the label, the label has a release schedule, and you got to follow the release schedule, and so basically when it came to the EP, we were in the midst of that release schedule, and I think honestly, and Steph can attest, and I think Marcus too, we had, the first single was Tree, I Am the Tree, which was the second version of I Am the Tree. And then we had the third version of Everything. And I think both of us were like, okay, can we please just put out something recent and new that where we're at? Like, can we please get past these two songs? And so we put Keep From Breaking, which was amazing. And I was so happy to put that out. It was a relief for me to put that out because it was, a new sound, new band members, us really kind of showing the style that we wanted to put out as a band. And so that was kind of a thing where we just wanted to let everyone know this is us. Right. And then, in the midst of the release schedule, every 3 months you got to put out a record. So we did Only I after that. And then, the EP happened to be done, in the fall. It's more of a, I guess you're right. It's part of just letting everyone know that you're still around. Because, as as a music, you can't let too much time go without letting people know that you're around because you'll get lost in that, right? Every dog has a band now, right? Like everyone's on social media putting out music constantly. So you got to constantly put out something for people to let them know that you're still around and you're still active. So there's part of the reason was because of that, but I think the other half was that we just wanted to get past the first two singles. Like we were done. We were like, can we please move on from these two?
We're not trees anymore.
Yes, we're not trees. And God, already. We're good with that. Like, can we please move on? But this time around, we have enough new material in the bag that has not been released yet that we can now focus on that album. So we're in a very good spot where by putting out the EP, we've given ourselves a buffer. And so now we have enough time to work on these new tracks. And now for the new project, we will release probably one single and then the project, and then we'll do it the proper way. But that's the long answer to that question, because everyone asked why we didn't do it the other way. And, I know it was a little crazy and a little haphazard and a little wonky, but it got done. I think it's still good.
How comes I'm a Tree isn't on the EP?
I think we were tired of it.
Yeah, the same reason why everything's not on the EP. It was just one of those things where enough is enough. Like, songs we love, like, playing them live is a lot of, like, playing Tree live is a lot of fun. Every great groove to it, and people really like it, and and headbang to it, and it's great. It's just, again, this EP really, was about showing people our growth. And showing people, the configuration of the band and our sound and where we have come from. And honestly, I Am the Tree and Everything, those were remixed by two other producers, and that sound is not us, right? We did that as a means to an end to release them on the label, but that's not our sound. Like that was something that other producers had their hands in, and that wasn't us. And so X-Ray in Use is us. That's us writing, that's us playing, that's us mixing, mastering, producing. That project is Echo 7. That is all us in-house, and that is what we do. And so that's the reason why we didn't put those two tracks on there, because those tracks have been manhandled and, touched by other people. I mean, not that they're not good tracks.
Personal.
I mean, there's great tracks. It's just, we could tell you the story behind the I Am the Tree remix, which was a mess. Both of them were, actually. Both of the producers were just interesting.
Well, we could have re-recorded everything.
No.
Version.
No. We don't need a song. No, that's.
I'm just thinking of one, especially one track on the EP that could have been replaced by either one of those. Would have been great.
Oh my goodness.
Very specific track.
Yeah. No, but you know, and I'm just kidding around. But you know, as Alon said, it was really just to show, you know, here's our, you know, here's the direction that we're going in, basically. Where, you know, even I treat, you know, the older stuff, and I mean, I like the older stuff prior to, you know, when I joined the project and that as well. But it was really just okay. I think the selection of the songs on there really shows the direction that we're going, and it's, you know, especially, you know, with Blame and with Born from Ice, especially, well, even Keep from Breaking, on there, it just shows that, you know, and you can see the progression on the EP as well. I mean, from Push Pull, you know, it's basically just a straightforward, you know, heavy beat, heavy rocker type song, not overly produced or anything like that, down to when we finally get down to, you know, Born from Ice, you know, as the last track. You can see that the production improves, you know, the overall sound improves, and, you know, just the overall quality of the tracks improve as well as the EP goes on. And that's how I take it as well. So with Born from Ice, at the end, even that one, it's very, in its production, it's very simplistic. You know, there are some overlays and things like that Alon added, but I mean, you know, it's very straightforward, basic, you know, some very basic guitars. I mean, Steph wrote an amazing song with Born from Ice. That's actually her playing the acoustic tracks on that song. And then we just added in, you know, the heavier rocking part,
Cool.
you know, in the middle. And then, you know, it, like I said, I think it just really shows the evolution, you know, in a simplistic, you know, 7 songs with the 2 little extra things. Yeah, the 7 song, it just really shows the evolution, I think, in, you know, musically.
So the older tracks are more like the children you've married off.
Yes.
Yeah, or the children that we've kicked out and just saying,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
we're done.
Just
Get
punted
out.
them.
Yeah, we've done our job. Get out. No. But yeah, it's basically that.
So where can people purchase the EP?
You can buy the digital copy on Bandcamp, 24/7. Physical copies, you can email us at echo7band@gmail.com, and we can arrange to get you one. We take payments through PayPal and probably use a little bit of Bitcoin there. I'm sure Marcus would be happy to take anyone's
crypto.
Yeah, I'll take your crypto.
That's right. So if you want a physical copy, we can definitely arrange to get you something and mail it out to you without a problem. But if digital copy, like I said, you can buy it on Bandcamp. You can also buy it off Apple Music to add to your library. So those are your 2 options there for purchasing, either a physical or a digital copy of the CD.
And obviously it's on like Spotify as well, isn't it?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, it's on all the streaming. Yeah, it's on all the streaming platforms.
Yeah,
So,
we're
Music
whatever.
videos on YouTube.
Yeah, so wherever you stream your music, we are there. Even YouTube Music, you can find us on there as well. So, and you can buy our merch on Redbubble or Teespring, whichever works best. So we're going to be promoting some merch there for the holidays. I'm sure they have some nice discounts going on Redbubble, so that should be good for the merch. But yeah, you can stream us everywhere. Again, you can purchase on Bandcamp and everywhere else. And so, yeah, wherever you can find Echo 7, you can find our music.
I do apologize. Are you selling them like at gigs as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we were selling them during the tour. We were selling shirts and CDs, at the shows, and we'll be doing that next year too. So we always have merch on hand. So if you do make it out to any of our shows, just find our merch table or find one of us, and we'll be more than happy to get you suited up in Echo 7 merch.
Talking of live, have you got any gigs in December coming up the last of the year?
Not that I don't believe we do. I think we finished the tour last week. Yeah, so we finished the tour last week, and I basically we're in studio mode now. Unless something extravagant on the table. Yeah, we're pretty much in holiday mode now. Doing the family thing, seeing family, chilling, writing songs, doing all that. It gets pretty wintry here in Atlantic, Canada, so it
Yeah.
it's
Shoveling
best kind of,
snow.
it's best kind of to lay low and write music than trying to do shows. But I will say probably after the new year, I know we've had a couple bands reach out to us already, saying like mid-January they're going to be ready to start shows. So we'll be back in the saddle soon, but taking the next month to like 6 weeks to just kind of chill out and get some writing done and just kind of lay low, like I said. And then in the new year, we're going to be back at it.
So any band's going to drag you over to my side of the pond?
We would absolutely love to. It's just going to cost us like $1 million to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
In a perfect
if
world.
if it makes sense to do, economically and things like that, I mean, yeah, we're open to go play anywhere at all, as long as economically it makes sense to do. Right?
We're not going bankrupt for.
Yeah, no, we'd love to.
We would.
Okay, but man, like it's just not cheap to get over there, and we got to eat, and we got to make sure we don't sleep on the streets, and we got to there's a lot to think about, So we'd
coffee.
we like snacks, and we'd like to not sleep in the rain in a dark alley, so we can not have to do either one of those things. I think we'd be okay. Yeah, it's very frustrating though. I will say it's we're getting a lot of love over in the UK and airplay and stuff, and we'd love to come over there and play live for you guys. It's just like Marcus said, it's got to be the right opportunity, and it's just got to make sense, right? Like to go over there to not do it right is not doing anyone any favors, right? So yeah, I don't know. I mean, we got to find a promoter or some bands or we got.
We keep submitting to the festivals and all that stuff as well. So hopefully one of these years say, hey, yeah, great, you guys sound great, come on over, right? But we would love to, right?
Yeah, it's just a matter of finding that opportunity that makes sense, and as soon as we do, we will be there. There will be no hesitation. We will be on the flight for sure.
Or even meet you at the airport.
We'd appreciate it. Need a tour guide. Know what to do when we get over there.
See, we have cost savings already. We don't have to phone an Uber or anything as soon as we get there. See, things are already looking up. That's awesome.
That's right.
Oh, anyway, right. Well, thank you for coming on again.
Thanks for having us.
No doubt I'll get you back on in the new year.
Yeah, sure, for sure.
Good luck with the writing.
Thank you. It's going well so far.
Yeah, we'll send you through Alon. We'll get him to send you a couple of sneak peeks or some of the stuff we're working on. Hopefully, there in the new year.
Yeah, Steph's already written to one song. I got to start writing to a couple of others. So yeah, it's going. It'll be good though. It's worth the wait.
And I guess with being the time of year, happy holidays.
Yes.
To you as well.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really everything. So thank you again, and thank you again so much for my t-shirt and the CD.
Yeah, no problem, not a problem. Thank you for supporting us and for having us on and sharing our posts. So I mean, it's the least we can do to say thank you for that. So glad you got it and glad you're enjoying it. As we get new merch, we'll send it over. We'll figure some stuff. Yeah,
I'll look forward to the ribcage t-shirt.
Yeah, we got those. So we'll arrange one of those.